covering the project backwards from working to gas. Cheers. Hey guys, how are you? Today we're gonna do some work, upgrades mostly, but we're not gonna do, not a lot of EV stuff. It's more of upgrading the BMW, and I'm gonna show you in a little bit into the electronics box, and the car is charging right now here in the garage, so I'm gonna show you some power information and things. So, talking to Jamie, actually, he had the question about the car is not sleeping and the fix I did. So let me run him through a little bit into the fix, potential fix, and how I actually implemented the car. So let me switch the cameras here. So here are the engine bay, or that battery bay I would say right now. So excuse the mess, there's always a laptop and a meter somewhere here, and the electronics box is buried under the cabin filters, in the right side cabin filter here in the American car. I'm pretty sure it's the other way around into the European variant. So look in here, this is the rat's nest of wires of the electronics box. Here there is the original harness of the car. This is what come originally from the BMW, and this is our precious, very capable zombie better. You can get it from Damien BMW shop, link in the description below. This is my accessories board. Excuse the LED, the OLED display, just not fast enough for the camera. So the car's been charging right now for almost 24 hours. This is a very slow AC charge here in the garage. We're gonna cover that in a little bit. Coolant temperature right now is like 33.75. Pump is running around 45%. Fan is 15%. The fan is not running, but it needs 15% duty cycle just to keep it off. Other things, this is like my board. I designed this and running an Arduino DUI. Controls the heater, the vacuum pump, and other things. This down there is the relay board. It's just a generic 12 volt relays. You tap signals into it to switch things on and off. Coolant pump is running. That's the first red light. The second red light down there is actually the onboard charger, which gets enabled by Zombie when we are in the charge session. This is Sim PMS. It's a variant from the original Sim by Dom DeBerry. I redesigned this board to add more stuff in it. Runs on TNC. Different variant of the code coded for the car. Details on the code. If you need to know more details, we can share with that. This is the original BMW power sockets that actually powered originally the electronics in this box. That means the transmission ECU, the original gas engine ECU, but they're long gone by now, and I just utilized the original power and ground for it, so it's still fused. I have a fuse inside the glove box. I can take it off and kill all the electronics. So all this electronics is running on fused rails. Safety first, right? These are the harnessing. These are new harnessing. Zombie have a harness that goes down here, connect to the original harness of the car, and signals here, and input signals for Zombie from the car as well. And if we look down there, these are some harnessing here. Some of them goes to the transmission. The GS450H from Lexus The transmission wires has, like, you know, the motor temperature sensor, the solenoid activating switches, and a little bit of like resolver wiring, all this stuff. It's a custom made harness because I could not find the original harness when I bought my system, so I made these harness and tied them up down there. What else here? Yeah, it's mostly in there. I was down there here because I was changing the code a little bit on simp. The battery settings, I need to change them, so that's why I cracked open this box. This is another thing I want to talk about, is this guy down here. This is high power, how many ohm? 8 ohms, I think, 8 or 6 ohms. I think this is like 4 and 8, yeah, 12 ohms total. 12 ohm high power resistors, because that's what actually tricks the climate control module on the car to think there is a clutch for the compressor. It took a little bit of a lot of research and different coding for the BMW to make it behave and trick it to you know, work with the AC. So this is just the load that gets loaded on the PWM signal from the climate control module to what can I say, just like trick it to think there is a AC clutch, a compressor clutch in there, and I'm signaling the signal from it here, sending it to my accessories board and Zombie to have different variable cam messages and activate the compressor. It's working fine, just a crude way of doing it. Fortunately, you mod the original system to a certain point, but after that you gotta give in and just like make it work. So that's electronics box. What else here I want to show and cover? Not very much. The Zombie control unit, it's sealed in its own casing right now, so it's like weatherproof, so it's like an actual electronic control module. Okay, and let's see here. This is I'm charging right now the car, so I'm pulling about 1.6 kilowatt of the 120. Here in the US we're running on 120, so not a lot of power, but it is very slow but charging the car. So far I've been running the charging for like more than 24 hours, just like 27 kilowatt pulled out of the 120. Yeah, when you load the bus it goes down a little bit, so it's not 120 on the dot, it's just 110. And we're pulling 15 amp AC, so 15 amp AC, it's like 1.6 kilowatt. Just go through the, so if we see here, it's just like a normal J1772 charger, goes down there all the way to the charge port of the car. And this is CCS capable, but right now we're only using the AC slow charge of it. This is actually controlled by i3LEM module, and the code driving this i3LEM is moved by Zombie. So Zombie actually handle the charging of that. It's just a very weird but very genius way of having a charge controller and CCS capable. I still did not try the CCS charging because it should work. It's ready, but I'm a little bit excited to try it, but at the same time, what can I say, I'm not ready for it yet. The reason is it's high power, and the second thing is I'm not sure if like my system is dialed in right. I'm 100% sure it is, but do not want to go to a charging station and plug it in and then something goes wrong, and then it's gonna be in public. It's not in my garage, so I can actually try things here. If I trip a breaker here, I can just reset it. But 125 kilowatt, that's like what I have in mind to charge this car on. 350 amps of DC going through the battery straight. So I need just to be prepared for it. The weather here in California was like been raining so bad. I know what is some rain for a lot of European people who are gonna see this video, but it was a lot of rain for us here in California. We're not used to this rain. It's been raining for like 10 days straight. This is the very first day of like dry weather, like, you know, sun and stuff. So maybe I'll go try it out. The other thing that I'm worried about is this. So part of the process of the procedure of like commencing a DC fast charge is I need to lock the gun or the handle, right? So if there is something goes wrong and the gun gets or the charge cable get locked in the car, I can't drive away because the cable is locked. And it happened here with me one time. Something was wrong with the code and the sequencing, and I locked this AC handle, and I couldn't reset it, so I can't get it out. And the only way I could get it out is just I need to go under the car, unplug the connector, inject 12 volts just to release the lock. In the garage is easy. Well, it's not easy, but still doable. But being in public in a fast charging station, trying something out with a very weird non-electric car over there, you're gonna drag a lot of attention. I don't want someone calling the cops at me, and so this is why I'm gonna do it, but when I'm feeling that I'm ready for it. So this is just like a quick video to see, like, you know, inside the electronics box how things are. I finished what I need to do here in this box. I'm gonna clean it up and do some zip ties, seal it up, and put everything back on here. But the thing that I want to talk about, which is another upgrade for the BMW, is changing the differential, or my final end ratio. So I have that plan today. So I'm gonna actually start working on the car. I need to lift it up. I'll try to take some pictures and videos and share with you today how we're gonna change the diff on the car. And probably from a very awkward angle under the car, I'm gonna actually take a picture of how the system actually you know, lined up in the car from underneath, and how it's actually connected, and just mechanical stuff, no EV stuff, just mechanical stuff. How the car is actually running EV now. So hang tight. I'm gonna lift the car up and see you again. Thanks.
A few minutes later.
Okay, we just put the car on the lift, aka jack stand, because the garage is very big. That's the only available place I can work at, but never prevented me from doing crazy shit. Yeah, you gotta work what you gotta do. So let's take you for a journey under Vesper and show you what we're gonna do today, and show you a little bit on the mechanical layout and how the things are, how they're connected, and you know, show you the modified drive shaft and things. So you're gonna see a lot of dodgy camera, so if you get sick or seasick, heads up. But yeah, let's dive in. That's my trusty light. I'm gonna lay flat here under the car. The car is charging, so there's 400 volt down here. That's a transmission, but here that's a mess of EV stuff. High voltage junction box. We're gonna explain that in detail right now, just giving you a little bit of a sneak peek. So let's start with the overall system. So this is Lexus GS 450H second generation. I think model years from 2008 to 2012, I think. So that's a Lexus transmission. Literally the whole electric conversion is just a transmission. The transmission itself, it's CVT, I think 2-speed CVT, and it's connected to the big V6 engine in the Lexus from the input shaft as just a normal transmission. But this transmission has two electric motors inside, MG1 and MG2. The genius Damien, he figured out that if we lock the input shaft, the planetary gears inside will get only activated by just like, you know, activating the electric motors. The output shaft will spin. He actually has a very long video about the Lexus GS 450h. If you want to know more, you can actually head to his channel. I think I have a link for it in the description below too, and look for it. You'll understand how this Lexus system works. So what I did is I got the transmission. This is the original transmission mount from a BMW E60, the original automatic transmission mount, modified a little bit, and it hooks up to the original transmission mount of the car. It sits a little bit lower because I actually did not do the mod the right way. I just again, if anybody knows so far, that I need to finish this project as quick as possible because I was changing towns and moving houses, so I kind of like, you know, cooked this mod, but it's solid. It's pretty solid. This is the original. Let me just move the light a little bit here. So this is the original transmission mount, and it hooks up to the original. Let's talk about the drive shaft. So this is a BMW E60 drive shaft, all the way from the diff, which what we're gonna change today. Talk about that later. But this is the drive shaft here. All the way from the back to here is original BMW. See, this is original mounts for it. But here it's still BMW drive shaft. The only problem was I needed to extend this drive shaft a little bit farther. The Lexus transmission from the mount to the output flange is literally shorter than the BMW, so I needed to extend this drive shaft a little bit. As we know, I did everything myself on this project, but this is kind of a little bit of critical job, and you know, vibration, a lot of torque and things. So I actually sent this part of the drive shaft, the front portion here, to a drive shaft shop, and they actually extended it to me. Lucky, the flange, output flange from the Lexus is the same exact diameter as the E60 facelift drive shaft. So it's technically, I just need to increase this portion of the drive shaft 45 millimeter, and they did, welded down, and everything bolts right up as factory. This is even a used Apple flange from BMW. I didn't actually buy a new one. Talk about cheapskate I am, but there it is. So same thing. That's a drivetrain. Let's talk about other things. So these are two coolant loops, because we have a coolant loop circulate through the car. So these are the coolant in, coolant out, the battery, high voltage between the front back and the rear back, and this is just a signal harness that just a harness that actually connects the zombie to various signals in the back. So if we actually drag back here, and this is where a lot of magic happen. Let me just increase the light here. So here what we got, this is the i3 limb, which is a charge controller that manages the AC charge, manages the CCS when we try it. It has its own mess of wires here. You kind of get an idea so far that I like to have a messy wiring. Here we are. This guy down there, that aluminum chunk, is, as you see with the label, it's a Tesla Gen 2 charger. So that's what actually charges the batteries, takes the AC in and charge it up. I did something just to give it a little bit of peace of mind. You see, this is silicone. I actually sealed the whole charger. This charger is not sealed, so I sealed it because it's supposed to be inside the Tesla car. So it's supposed to be outside the element, but right now it's right under the car, so it has to be weatherproof. Tell me how I know this. The Beetle actually rained hard one day and killed the charger, so I learned the hard way. So now it's sealed. On the other side here, this is the high voltage junction boxes. Again, these are weatherproofed junction boxes. So this one here has the main contactors, the positive and negative. Sorry, my angle is not that good, but let's get some light here. So you see here, inverter negative, inverter positive, battery positive, and the small charger in the back, a small box in the back, has the, so these two big wires here are CCS power. You know, we agreed that going to be 125 kilowatt go down to these, so 350 amps. So these are actually the wires that comes from the charge port. It's routed from the charge port all the way down there. You can't see it very much, but it's somewhere here, and they come crossing here to this small junction box. There's a small small contactors down there, and there is a high voltage voltage sense circuit inside here too. They send this information through these signal wires. These signal wires comes down here. Sorry about the lighting. And this big mess of wires down there. They send all the information all the way down there. I have a coolant pump here. So this one is here is running. It's a small coolant pump just to circulate the coolant between the front and back. It's a very long coolant loop. So kind of like this small pump actually runs 100%. It's not PWM control, just 100%. And this is small pump, not a lot of high flow. It just circulate the coolant between the system. In the front, I have a Tesla coolant pump that is variable depending on the temperature. It can actually increase high and low. But so far, the car can be parked for literally just 48 hours charging, and the temperature in the charger and my accessories board, they literally do not increase more than 30 Cs. The fans actually never came on. So yeah, it's a pretty good coolant system. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna change this diff. This is 3.75, I think, gear ratio, which is geared for automatic transmission for gas engine. So it's kind of like limiting my drivetrain to be at max at 120 miles per hour. Of course, I don't drive 120 miles per hour, but the problem would be if you try to drive 75 miles per hour, your RPM is going to be so high. You need a lot of voltage. You'll probably need a lot of current to spin the motors up. So one of the things that I thought to do is change this diff to a smaller ratio, which is a diesel differential. But nothing is easy. The E60 in North America came only with gas. They don't have a diesel E60 in the whole North America. So where can I get a diesel differential? You got it. I got it from the Queensland. Unfortunately, the diff is about what can I say, about 65 pounds worth of steel, and shipping 65 pounds from the UK all the way to North America, it's hard, and it's gonna be expensive too. So I tried to buy it like 4 times trying to buy this freaking thing. 4 times. The very first time it got lost, like some way halfway got lost. Second time it made it to the airport, but somehow the shipping company said it's a restricted item. It just like we don't want to ship it. I'm like, okay, fine. I ignored them. Third time, these straight up said like, no, we're not gonna ship it. Fourth time, I actually, before I bought it from the seller in the UK, I told them, look, this is coming to the United States. Please make sure that you got your ducks in a row with the shipping company. It's like, oh, don't worry about it. We ship with them all the time. But of course, that differential was a little bit expensive because it was actually refurbished. So I bought it as a refurbished. It's down there, this guy down there. So this one is 2.56 gear ratio, which in theory should give this car max speed at 156 miles per hour or 160 miles per hour, give or take. And I should reduce my highway cruising speed to, you know, about like 30%, which just means like, you know, I'm really hoping for more efficiency of the system. So today I got the car on the lift just to change the diff today. We'll see how hard of a job it can be. So technically it's just like get this guy off, get this input shaft off, output shafts off, 3 screws holding this differential in place. Hopefully it does not fall on my face and crush my head, but yeah, drop this thing in, get it out, put the new one in, and we should be back on the road. Yeah, so I utilized, so if you guys don't know where it used to be here, this used to be the gas tank here, where the charger and the junction box are. I needed somewhere to put them in, so it's kind of like this is where I kind of figured this is gonna be the best way to put them in. So actually they do work really good. Charger here fits perfectly in the spot. Again, this is like where the, you know, the end of the charger here. These are actually the original gas tank straps from the BMW. So I took them out from the gas tank. I did this metal plate, welded. You see how awesome my welds are. Anyway, it was really hard because it's like, you know, very stainless steel. And anyway, so welded them here, get some mounting holes, put the charger on it, and the charger is very secure. It's not actually moving. Same idea here, same exact strap here. This is carbon fiber leftover from fiberglass leftover from the original battery, the Bolt battery packaging. Put them down there, and again, it's a really awesome place to have the junction box. But I'll be making a video about some problems I had with the high voltage junction boxes before and pre-charger and stuff, and this was pain. It was painful. I had to take these boxes about 4 times, and if you don't know how many wires go through this, it's like, you know, 4 high voltage here, 2 high voltage here, signaling here. And if we can see here, you see these small 8 gauge wires, there's 8 of them, no, 6 of them. These are actually the accessories high voltage stuff, because again, high voltage needs to come from the high voltage junction box, so they're running actually all the way to the front. These 8 gauge wires, they were the hardest freaking thing to put in this box. There's not a lot of area here. There's not a lot of clearance on top here. But anyway, I'm glad that we worked it out. I'm glad I don't want to freaking open this thing again. I'm right now laying flat on the ground under the car, under about like 4,500 pound car. Hopefully it does not land on my face, but yeah, and you see this is 120 volts right in my face. Very, very, very fun. I did this for like 3 months, yeah, just to wire things up here, but we're good. Now I'm gonna start to take the diff out. I'll update you when I get it out, and we'll do another video to close things up. Definitely gonna be trying this car when we finish the differential. Hang tight for now and see you in a little bit. Right, we got it out. Wasn't the worst job. Actually, it was much easier than the car when it's gas, because you need to remove the exhaust and a lot of bullshit in the way. Now we don't have an exhaust. It's already clear. So let's see what we got here. I got it out, just dirty. been on the car for like 18-19 years. Let's flip the camera. So here is the old diff. Came out nice, no problems whatsoever. See the gunk on it? It's been cooked for like 18 years or so. So this one I think is like 3.74 gear ratio or 3.47, something like that. One of the other, but it's 3 plus, and we do not want 3 plus. This is the one that we got from the UK. It's original E60, just they say refurbished, and they have a 1-year warranty on it. I don't think it's refurbished. I think they just cleaned it up, degreased it, painted this side, inspected, and that's it. Let me flip you. So we look at this side. Say 2.56. That's a much better ratio. Doesn't have an oil. Thanks for putting a note. I usually change the oil, but some guys buy parts and they install them and they think it will work right away. That's how you destroy your diff if you don't have oil in it. It says warranty removed and whatsoever. These are the guys, global parts of eBay. We need to install this thing. The only difference I can see, you see this diff here, it does have fins here. This is, I think, for North American, for, you know, a little bit of climate stuff. So this fins actually does cool the diff. I don't think that we'll see. I don't think that needs this much cooling. This one does not have this thing is heavy. Does not have the fins. I can change the freaking covers, but to be honest with you, that's one of that's really a missing for a job. I don't have gaskets and whatnot, so I'm gonna install it as is. Usually diesel output shafts and input shafts are different than gas. They should be beefy because diesel has like way so much torque than gas. And I did actually order the output shafts for the diesel, which is they're here. They're much beefier. These are bigger flanges. These are parts coming from the car. These are the active steering bullshit that this car had. I had to get it off. It was so much trouble. Anyway, back to the diff. So, but to my surprise, actually, the input shaft exactly the same size as the gas one. I think it's because it's automatic, so the automatic does not have this much torque, I would say, in diesel. So that's actually, I was worried because that means I need to remodify the drive shaft that I actually had modified and paid $450 for it. It was a lot of money. It's the most expensive part actually in the whole, well, most expensive single part in the whole project. But good news is same size, so that means the drive shaft does not need to be modified. I thought that the output shaft need to be changed, swapped as well. I bought them already, but when the diff came here, I measured it. It's exactly the same size as the gas one, so cool, just a diff swap. It's on the transmission jack. These transmission jacks are crap, literally, but sometimes they come handy for lightweight stuff and reference, like, you know, a transmission. I tried to put this thing with the transmission in the car. This transmission is like, how much, like 300 pounds sort of thing. It's like really heavy, not a normal or lucky at. I'm here in California, no rust. Yeah, I'm teasing you guys in Europe. Yep, no rust. Or in this case with the snow belt here, or the frozen belt in the US. Yeah, it's a California car and it's clean. Look how this diff is. No rust whatsoever. 18 years driving. The car is super clean down there too. Without further ado, let's put the new diff in, put some oil, and spin it. See how it goes. Cheers. Okay guys, we're done. We finished the diff change. Took about an hour or so. It's pretty good. I think everything lined up as it should be. Well, we're using BMW part, so no different changes here. So yeah, I cannot take the car now for a test drive. I will after done charging. Right now, 90% charged. So yeah. Uh, what else? I just wanted to make a finale, like finish video. So new diff installed, fully oiled up. We put new oil in it. Everything should line up. It spins freely, no grinding, no problem. So I think we're ready for a test drive. Let me show you the up there because I want to spin the diff first while it's not loaded, and I cannot spin the diff without having finished because while we're on charge mode we cannot have drive mode. So anyway, I will make a new driving video for the new diff. Excuse the dirt and the mess, but everything is good, everything is lined up. I didn't want to close the electronics box till I see the new parameter I made on the sim PMS. And again, this is needed to be in drive mode, which is I cannot do now for charge mode. So hang tight. I think that's it for this long episode as well. Kinda getting accustomed to my reviews are very long, boring. So yeah, that's it for today. See you in the next episode.